Well, welcome to the 25th chapter of the book of Matthew. Jesus is explaining to the disciples and the people what is going to happen at the end times and when his arrival is what it's going to be like. And it's more or less continuing. Now he brings it out in parables rather than more than a direct narrative. And it begins, Tote homeothesite evasilia ton uranon decaparthenus, etinis lavuse tas lampadas avton, exilthon is apantison to nymphiu. The kingdom of the heavens shall be likened. So this is a continuance of all of the parables, just about that the kingdom of the heavens shall be likened. It's a condition that's happening on earth. And so I'm not exactly sure if he's how he's relating that to with the kingdom of heavens. Normally you would think they're up in the air, but yet some people would think that, well, we're part of the kingdom of the heavens, which we may very well be. This is a little round globe that's rolling around in the skies, and the heavens hold all these stars. So that may be the case. And the kingdom of the heavens is like deca, 10. We have a decade, a derivative. Parthenus, the Parthenon in Greece, for the virgin. And this is, it's like the 10 virgins who, having taken their lamps, went forth to meet the groom. The nymphiu, never mentioned before, with a nymph, has something to do with a marriage and a bride and a groom. Lampadas is almost a transliteration into English for a lamp. These little clay lamps, ceramic lamps, held oil and a little wick in them, and they would light them. And the 10 virgins went forth. They're all a group. They are the same type of people. They're all young and they're all virgins, and they all took their lamps. And so this is a major factor in the parable that he's bringing out, that basically they're all the same type of people, but their actions are different. Things are different about certain ones. It says, Pente theisen exavton phroni me, and 5 from out of them were practical. Pente, pentagram, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. 5 of the derivatives, 5 of them were practical, K.A. Pente more, and 5 moronic, or moronish, more. So we have 5 of them in this group are different than the other 5. Etinis more lavuse tas lampadas avton uk elevon methiavton eleon. The ones who were moronish or moronic, having taken their lamps, did not take oil with themselves. Now, why didn't they take oil with themselves? They probably thought that somebody would give them the oil when they got there. I mean, why else wouldn't they have taken it? So they were expecting somebody else to do what needed to be done, instead of thinking, well, maybe this isn't the case and I should prepare. Basically, this whole parable and the one following are about being prepared and unprepared for the kingdom. So the kingdom of the heavens, being prepared, is one of the main things. We need to have our oil. Ede phroni me elevon eleon in tis angiis avton meta ton lampadon avton. But the practical took oil in their receptacles with their lamps. And they had little receptacles of some sort, so they went out and bought the lamp to make sure that it worked. They cared. The other ones didn't care. I think we can see more and more a lot of this has to do with caring. Some were all in this earth together, and we all may be in a church together, but some care and some don't. And this is the kingdom of the heavens at so many places. It's like the other ones where the evil people are part of the church, and they're mixed in, and then Jesus says not to pull them out until the end when they'll be divided. And he goes into a similar thing later here. In verse 5, chronizontos they to nympheu, but the groom passing time. Enistaxon passe ke akathav then. They all slumbered and slept, which is all right. They're all sitting there, and it's getting late. So they're just taking a nap, and they're sleeping. All 10 of them. They're all doing the same thing. Mesis they niktos kravgi gegonen, and in the middle of the night a cry came. Idhu, behold, O nymphios erkate, the groom comes. They all exerchestheis apantasin aftu, go forth to meet him. So they all arose here. Tote egerthine passe e partheni ekine. So they all jump up at the same time, and what? Ke akos misan tas lampadas afton, and trimmed their lamps. So they're getting ready to light their lamps. And from what I understand, that those lamps were put on some type of a stick and carried around in the feast or whatever when the groom came, and so they're getting ready. But they more tes phronimis epen, and the moronic said to the practical, dote imin ek tu eleu imon, give to us from out of your oil. Well, they didn't prepare. They expect somebody else to furnish it for them. Well, now, normally, no problem. We give somebody oil, but Jesus is using this as a parable. So people wanting somebody else to do what they should have done. Ota lampada Simon sevenite, for our lamps are extinguishing. So they just had a little bit in there to keep them going for just a small time. But now they're going out and there's no oil. Apokrythison they a phronimi, and the practical answered leguse, saying, Amipote, uk arkesi imin, ke imin, no, lest at any time it should not be sufficient to us and to you. Porevis they malon prostus poluntas, but you go rather to the ones selling, ke agorasate iav tes, rather, and buy for yourselves. Apparently it's time they could still go out and get the oil if they wanted to. Aperhomenon they afton agorase, and of their going forth to buy, ilthan o nymphios, the groom came. I believe this we're talking about here is Jesus, and Jesus was gone for a long time. And he's talking about his parousia in the last, the last chapter. It was all about the parousia, and it's continuing here. It's going to be a long time before when he does come, but when his coming, his arrival, advent, the parousia, is when the groom comes. Ke etimi isilthan medav tu is tus gamus. And the ones prepared entered with him into the wedding feasts. So they now are going into this gamus later in the evening. And the gami, big gummy, Mary, has to do with marriage. Gami. Ke ek listi e thera, and the door was locked. Cloister is the derivative. Because the door's locked, everybody's in. Istron they erkonte ke elipe partheni, and afterwards came also the remaining virgins, the ones who weren't prepared. So now they've went and got the oil, and they're coming back, and they leguse, saying, Kyrie, Kyrie, anixoni min, O Master, open to us. So they're expecting, they wouldn't come back if they weren't expecting to get in. So they're not doing anything, expecting other people to do their work for them and not caring about the feast, not being prepared for it. And the same with people that today, they're not prepared for heaven. They're just doing their own thing, whatever they want, letting everybody else do it, but they expect the door to open to them because they go. So how many people today in churches, they think, they think that they're, just because they go to a certain denomination, that it's going to be a sure thing that they're going to be in heaven. Or somebody has a certain type of a rule of a church or a denomination. Somebody real high up thinks that he's going to be there into the kingdom just because of who he is. He's so important. O they apokrithis ipon. And he answering said, whoa, Amen lego imi, Amen I say to you, for sure I say to you, uk either imas, I do not know you. Doesn't know who they are. They didn't care about him, and they weren't prepared, and they weren't there when they were supposed to be there. All along, they weren't doing things the way he wants it, to the point where he doesn't know who they are. And then he finished it and says, Grigorite un, be vigilant then. Gregorius is a derivative. Oti uk, ithate tin imerin, for you do not know the day, ude tin oren in o eos to anthropu erkate. You do not know the day and the hour in which the Son of Man comes. Now he's bringing it back to him being the groom, and he's going to, he's warning them, you don't know when it's going to happen. You need to be ready and prepared. And then he brings out another parable here of the talents. In verse 14, Ospergar anthropos apodimon ekalase tus idius zulus ke paredoken aftis ta iparkonta aftu. And for as a man, anthropology, anthropos, traveling abroad, that's Jesus, called his own bondmen and delivered up to them his possessions. He's going to be gone. This is where I think the same thing where Jesus is leaving. He's giving his possessions to the bondmen. Leaders of the churches are prophets, any people that he has called to be and put them in a leadership in a place, and he's giving them all of the possessions to take care of. Till he returns. When he returns, it's the parousia, the advent. Ke omen edoka pente talenta, and to one he gave 5 talents. O they theo, and to another 2, o they, and to another 2, o they and another 1. Ekastokata tin ethian thinamin, to each according to his ability. Apparently then the master knows the ability of the people. So the ones that he gives 5 talents to, he also has given them an ability, or they have an ability, whatever, but they're given, some are given more and some are given less. And K, apathemison eptheos, and he traveled abroad immediately. So now this is the resurrection, and Jesus is gone out of the world. Porevthis they, and having gone, o tapente talenta lavon ergasato in aftis. The one receiving the 5 talents, pente, the talanta is a transliteration there, worked with them. He did something. He worked. Made what did he do? Ke apis and Allah pente talanta. And he made another 5 talents. He doubled it, 100%. Osavtos ke ota theo ekurdison ke aftos ala theo. Likewise also the one receiving the 2 gained himself also another 2. So theo, duo. Both made 100%. One had more, but the amount that they made was 100%. And hopefully the Lord looks at that as that we all make 100%. We do the things of God, not just make 1%. O they to en lavon, and the one receiving the one, apelthon orixen in tigi, having gone forth, dug in the ground, the geology, earth, ground. He dug in the ground. Ke apekrypse to argirion to Kyriou avtu, and he concealed the money of his master. He didn't care about his master. He got this money and he just hid it. He didn't care about the service. He didn't want to work. He didn't want to do anything. And he didn't care about the trust that the master put him in the position that he put him in. He could have been even in a high position in a church. But all of this, he didn't really care. He didn't really do anything with it, even though he was in this position. And they're all given a position. They're all together as bondmen. And we're probably part of that group. Meta de chronon polin erkete o Kyrios ton dhulon akinon. Ke sineri logon methafton. And after a long time, ke a chronon, chronology is a derivative. The master of those bondmen came the master of those bondmen and takes up a reckoning with them. So now he's returned. Jesus has now returned. The parousia, the advent. Ke proselthon o ta pente talanta lavon prosina canala pente talanta. And the one receiving the 5 talents, having come forth, brought another 5 talents, saying, Legon, Kyrie, pente talanta me paredokas. O master, 5 talents to me you delivered. Ide ala pente talenta ekerdisa epaftis. See, another 5 talents I gained besides them. Oh man, I really worked and I got more for you. Here it is. Here's your extra 5 talents. And he loved the Lord. He cared about him. He wanted to do something. He used everything he could to make more, and he did. He did the 100. He gave 100%, and he got the 100%. He's more or less like jumping up and down in joy. And what happens? Efi they avto o Kyrios avtu. And his master said to him, Ev, which means good, well done. A lot of evangelis, good news, good message, well done. Thule, agathe, ke piste, well done, O good and trustworthy bondman. I hope he says that with us. Epi oliga is pistos, epi polon se katastiso. Over a few things you were trustworthy, over many I will place you. Isothe istin haran to Kyriou su. Enter into the joy of your master. Come on in. He opens the door. So they went in, like the 10 virgins, and the 5 practical virgins went in. And then 22, proselthon they, ke otathio talanta lavon. And coming forward, also the one receiving the 2 talents. Ipe Kyrie, said Master, theo talanta me paredokas. 2 talents you delivered up to me. I don't even know if he knows about the guy that got 5. Maybe somebody else got 4, but he got the 2, and that's what he's concerned about. Ide si ala theo talenta ekurdisa epaftis. Another 2 talents I gained beside them. Wow, here they are. I did this, and then here's your 2 talents. And he's happy that he was able to do the service for his master. He didn't complain. He went out and did it, and he wanted to do a good job. His heart was to do a good job. He's prepared, and he prepared himself. He did it. Efe avto o Kyrios avtu, and his master said to him, Ev, well done, thule agathe, ke piste, O good and trustworthy bondman, epi oliga is pistos. Over a few things you were trustworthy. Epi polon se katastiso. Over many I will place you. Iselthe is tin haran to Kyriou su. Enter into the joy of your master. Same thing. It doesn't say how much he's going to place him, where he's going to place him, but he's going to place him over many. He has something planned for all of us. God has something planned. It's not just we're going to get up there and play harps and sit around all the time. I don't think. I think we could just be praising all the time. That would be wonderful enough. Because I was at a church when they were just praising God, and wow, I felt like I was in heaven. So, that would be wonderful too. But he may have other things. I don't know what they would be. But here it's like, it seems like he's giving him, I will place you over many, something else. Proselthon they, and having come forth o to en talenton iliphos, the one having taken the one talent, ipe, Kyrie, egnon se oti skleros e anthropos. I knew that you are a hard man. So now what's this? He's basically, this I look at as kind of like the judgment. These were all the judgment. These other people were judged. And now this man is being judged. And he's giving his excuse for what he did. Therizon opu uk espiras. And he's trying to soften up the master. Because he's probably seeing that he didn't do anything. I don't know if he even realizes it until afterwards that he didn't do anything. But he's softening him up by saying, well, you're harvesting where you sowed not. I know you're God, and you do all these things. Ke synagon othen u the ascorpisus, and gathering from where you disperse not. I know this is what you do, who you are. Ke phovithis, and fearing. Apelthon, having gone forth, ekripsa to talenton su integri. I hid your talent in the ground. Well, wasn't fearing. If he was really fearing, he would have done the work. It was just the opposite. It's just an excuse. He's not fearing, and he didn't do anything. He was lazy. And and God could see that. And then he says, Ide, echis toson. See, you have yours. He just gives it back to him. Apokrithiste o Kyrios avtu ipanavto. And responding, his master said to him, Ponere vlule ke oknire, O wicked and lazy bondman. Idis oti therizo opu uk espira. You knew that I harvest where I sowed not. Ke sinago othen u the ascorpisa, and gather from where I disperse not. You know who I was. You read the Bible. You've seen it. You're in church. You've heard all these things. Where's your excuse? The excuse is you're a lazy bum. Ethi un se valin to argirion mu. It was necessary then for you to put my money, tis trapezites, with the bankers. At least you could have done something, but you didn't even bother taking it to the bankers. Trapeze is a flat surface and you sit on, but the bankers sat on. This is what the word means. Ke elthon ego ekomisamen an to emon sin toko, and coming, I would be delivered whatever was mine with interest. He didn't even do that. He didn't care about any of this. Arate un apaftu ta talenton. Take then from him the talent. Ke dote to ekonti ta veka talenta. And give it to the one having the 10 talents. Now, this is what he did. I don't know if it really mattered to the person receiving that had the 5 that gets the 10 talents. But the idea is that was taken from the man. Gar ekonti panti thothisate, for everyone having shall be given. Like this man having 10 was given something. Ke periseb thisate, and shall abound. I think the one that had the 2 is going to abound. Apo they to me ekontas, but from the one not having, ko eki arthisate of 2. Even what he has shall be taken from him. So the one not having, the not doing the will, not having anything to show for his trust, is whatever he has is going to be taken. He's going to be left with nothing. Worse off than if he would have been better off doing the work. And so should we. If we don't, then we're going to be worse off than we even are now. If you want to be lazy and not do anything, after this, wow, you're not going to even be lazy because you're not going to have anything to be lazy with. It's going to be terrible. It goes on here. Keton akrion dhulon ekvalete istoskotos to exoteron, and it can cast out the useless bondman into the outer darkness. Eki este o klavthmos ke ovrigmos ton odonton, teeth, or the odontics. There will be the gnashing of the teeth. Talks about Gehenna, the outer darkness. Is going to be away from God. God is light. So this is going to be a place that there is not going to be God. They're not going to see it. And then there's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It's going to be a horrible place to be, and that person is not going to get out. That's really horrible for someone to end up there. In verse 31, Oten they elthi o eos tu anthropu inti doxiav tu, and whenever the Son of Man comes in his glory, ke pantas I agi angeli medav tu, and all his holy angels with him, that's the parousia, tote kathise epi thronu doxisav tu, then he shall sit upon the throne of his glory. Wow. And we want to be there. Ke sinakthesate emprosthenaf tu panta ta ethni. And then he's in the glory, and what's going to happen? The judgment. He shall gather together before him all the nations. Ethnic is the nations. Ke aphorii avtus apalilon. It's not Gentiles, it's nations. He will separate them from one another. Osper opimin aphorizi ta provata apoton erifon, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the kids of the goats. Whatever reason he's separating them and selling them. I don't think it means that the kids are bad, but basically the separation is going to happen here. Jesus is using sheep and kids of the goats. Ke stisi ta. Well, I guess the kids would be like the evil ones, but I hate to think of a kid of a goat as being the evil one, but that's what Jesus used. So, ke stisi ta men provata ek dexionav tu. He will set the sheep indeed at his right. Dexterous has to be your right-handed. Ta de erifia ex evonimon, and the little kids at his left, which was considered the unlucky side. Tote eri o vasilefs tis ek dexion av tu, and the king shall say to the ones at his right, Devte I evlogimeni, come, O ones being blessed. Eulogy is a derivative for that word. Evlogimeni, ones being blessed. Tu patros mu, of my father. Kleronomisate tin, inherit the itimas menin imin vasalian, the kingdom being prepared for you. Now, this is a kingdom prepared for you, for me, for us, hopefully all of us. Apokatavolis Cosmu, from the founding of the world. This kingdom, I'm not sure if it's the kingdom of the heavens now, if this is a different kingdom that's, we're there, and it doesn't have all these evil people and lazy people and all this other things into that kingdom, but it's a pure kingdom. Epina Sagar, now he changes and he talks about the people that are going to be there and the people that aren't. Epina Sagar ke egdokate me fagin, for I hungered and you gave to me to eat. Edipsisa ke etima epotisate me, I thirsted and you gave me a drink. Xenos imin ke Sine gagete me. I was a stranger, xenophobia, fear of strangers, and you brought me in. Gymnos ke periavalete me. Naked and you clothed me. The gymnos, a gymnasium. The men wrestled naked. Isthenisa ke episkepsaste me. I was sick and you visited me. En philaki imin ke ilthate pros me. I was in prison and you came to me. So now he's seeing all these things, and he's saying you did all these things. And they're like, well, but they did these things. That's the whole point, is they were doing these things. And maybe they didn't see at the time, but now Jesus is saying, when you do these things, well, he says it right here. Tote apokrithisonte afto I dikei. Then the just ones will answer to him, legon, saying, Kyrie, pote se idomen pinota ke ethrapsamen. And did we see you hungering and we nourished you? I dipsonta ke epotisamen. Or thirsting and we gave you a drink. Tote they say idomen xenon ke siniga gomen. And when did we behold you a stranger and brought you in? Igim non ke perivalumen. Are naked and we clothed you. Tote they say idomen astheni I en philaki ke ilthomen prose. And when did we behold you sick or in prison and we came to you? Ke apokrithis o vasalefs eri aftis. In answering, the king shall say to them, Amen, for sure, lego imin, I say to you, if oson episate, any two-tone ton adelphon mu, ton elakiston, emi episate. Inasmuch as you did to one of these, who? The least of my brothers, he mentions their brothers, you did it to me. So we need to do these to the brothers. The least of the brothers, his brothers. You did it to me. So we need to take care of the brothers and people that love the Lord. And we think they love the Lord. Sometimes it's not quite sure, but we go out and we visit them in all these different places and see them and help. And we're doing something. That's the work. That's the talents, using the talents. It's not a money thing, but it's a service. Tote eriketis ex evonimon. Then he will say also to the ones at his left, the ones of the evil ones, Porevis say, apami, go from me, katirameni, istopir to aeonion. O ones being cursed into the eternal fire, aeonion, aeonial fire, eternal fire. Eternal is the Latin word for an eon. To iti masmenon, to diavolu, ketis angelis av tu. Having been prepared for the devil and his angels. Wasn't prepared for everybody else, but this is where we're going. This is not where we're going. This is where they're going. And in Revelations 20:10, 14 and 15, it goes into this. Revelations 20:10, ko diavolos, planon and the devil misleading them was cast into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the wild beasts and the false prophets are. That was what it was made for. And they shall be tormented day and night into the eons of the eons. So it's not just one eon for the aeonialists out there. And then down in 14 and 15, it says, and death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. And if any should not be found written in the book of life, he was cast into the lake of fire. If any was not written in the book of life. I think everybody was written in the book of life, but it mentions that the names are struck out. So I think we all start up with our name in the book of life, but as we go through, our names are taken out. And so the ones that were stricken at this time, they were cast into the lake of fire. And it continues, Epina sagar ke uk edokate me fagin, for I hungered and you did not give to me to eat. Edipsisa ke uk epotisate me, I thirsted and you did not give me a drink. Xenos imin ke u sinigagate me, I was a stranger and you did not bring me in. Gymnos ke u perivalate me, naked and you did not clothe me. Asthenis ke amphilaki ke uk epes skepsate me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Tote apokrithison te afto ke afti. Then they also will answer to him, legonta, saying, Kyrie, pote se idomen pinonta, idipsonta, ixenon, gymnon, astheni, en philaki. Ke u the ikonisamen, and we did not serve a deacon to you. Tote apokrithisate aftis. Then he will answer to them, legon, saying, Amin, lego imin, ephoson ukapisate, enituton ton elakiston. Amen, I say to you, if as much as you did not do to one of the least of these, ude ami episate, not even to me did you do. A lot of people expect somebody else to take care of all these conditions that Jesus is bringing out. They expect the government to do a lot of things. Carl Jung, famous psychologist, said, I didn't believe he was an atheist, and he says, if you don't have God, then government is the next best choice. And that's where it's at. A lot of people expect a government to do all these things, and they don't do anything. Just sit around, read, or twiddle their thumbs, but or play games, watch TV, but they don't do anything. Their whole life is spent wasted, not doing anything, because the government's going to do it. And others maybe think, well, taking care of these people, the charities should be doing that. I mean, people are giving money to the Red Cross, and they're giving money to the Goodwill, and the Goodwill and the Red Cross should be doing this. Well, good luck. And then other ones may think, well, this is what the churches are all about. I belong to this church, but they should be doing this. And then they need some help. The church does to go out, but these people never show up to go out with them to visit or anything. They just come in there and they're like sponges listening to the word and go out, and they don't really take it and do what they're supposed to do. And but these, he says, if as much as you did not do to one of the least. So now he's not talking about brothers. Before he said the brothers. So now it's here, if you don't even do it to anybody at all, then wow. I mean, you don't care about anybody, then you didn't do it to me. So you didn't have to hardly, do anything really, but the condemnation is there, and they're going to go into the fire. Ke apolevsonte utiis kolasin aeonion, and these shall go forth unto eternal punishment. Punishment. Wow, punishment is not pleasant. I have never been in jail. I don't want to go to jail. I fear going to jail. If a policeman stalks me, says anything, I'll say, he says a jump, I'll say how high, anything. I don't want to go to jail. And I can't imagine going to jail for eternity. And so just need to be holy and to do the things that God wants. Go out and give the extra try, and just get up and start going and finding things that you can do. And ide dikei is zoin aeonion, but the just ones unto eternal life. And it's eternal. Instead of punishment, it's life. And life is wonderful. And we're going to be in a place that there's no death, there's no sin. The lion will lay down with the lamb. A little boy will put his hand in the adder's nest. And nobody will be harmed on my holy mountain, God says. And that's where we're going to be together. That was the 25th chapter. the book of Matthew, wonderful parables that Jesus has offered. The 26th chapter, next video. Hope you'll join us, and God bless.